Old Mutual says it undertook the study to better understand the financial attitudes and behaviours of South Africans. The insurer noted that South Africans are not only resilient but also innovative, taking proactive steps to improve their finances. It says consumers are reducing their reliance on debt, being more entrepreneurial and increasing their income streams.
We focus on employed South Africans earning between 8,000 up to 120,000, living in metropolitan areas, ranging in age from about 18 to 65 years of age.
Most of those surveyed are actively taking steps to improve their financial position. They're expanding revenue sources, improving debt management, practicing prudent budgeting and saving more. Across age groups, many consider themselves to be polyjobbers, meaning that they juggle side hustles, freelancing and after-hours work alongside their regular jobs.
That is something that we've seen over the years increasing, but particularly this year, it's up 7% to 57% of people saying that they are in fact polyjobbers, and particularly young people. So that percentage goes all the way up to 73% when you talk to the cohort that is 18 to 29 years old. And to your question in terms of what are they doing, in particular, the three things we've seen, one is using social media. So that is absolutely one of the big revenue streams or income streams for people. The second one is doing work in the evenings. So after their jobs, when they get home, doing work. Again, the digital economy here is quite big in terms of supporting that. And then the last one is people are tapping into their entrepreneurial spirit. So either starting business or joining somebody else's businesses. We've seen an increase in that as well.
Mapude says in an effort to cut expenses, working South Africans are using creative value-hacking tools. These include using loyalty reward cards, switching to cheaper brands, cutting down on domestic help and moving children to less expensive schools, among other interventions. The monitor also shows some improvement in debt management since last year. It says the number of consumers who have fallen behind on bills and other payments has declined. However, the monitor revealed that it is not all positive for South African women.
What we found with women, particularly in the past, is that they tend to be the ones who are more responsible for more dependence. So whether that is children and adult dependents, which is what we call the sandwich generation, or people who have both adult and child dependents, women tend to be the ones who are more likely to sit in that category of consumers. And what that means, to your point, is their recovery is slightly slower because they are still more indebted. They are still struggling to save. They are more financially stressed, which is something that, again, we've seen over the years than men. And so that, I think that pace of the slow recovery for women is due to the fact that they actually do tend to carry far more responsibility, not necessarily in comparison to men, but just in terms of dependence, when it comes to having child and adult dependence.
The monitor further showed that 43% of South Africans still don't fully understand the new two-pot retirement reforms.
Even though people have been hearing about two-pot and hearing about the new legislation, the understanding in terms of how exactly does it work, what are the dates, what are the prescribed dates that government is going to be using to apply to this law, that's for us the first big thing, is how it works. The second one is tax implications. And this morning we did speak about that a little bit, but again, a lot of people wanting to be really clear around what are the tax implications when it comes to two-pot. And then finally, I think the third thing, which is where when we talk about getting financial advice and getting the right kind of information and knowledge, this becomes critical, is the third one is people not knowing what to do with the money.
Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.